Question 504. What do you imagine was bigger when you were smaller?
Oh, that's easy.
Go on.
There's this little retaining wall at the house that was across the street and one over to the right from the house that I grew up in. And I remember walking on that retaining wall, and I remember it being chest high. And it's funny when I went back and found out that no, it wasn't chest high, it was knee high. But I remember walking on it when I was 3. So when I was 3, it was chest high. But, you know, as I grew, I just always imagined that wall bigger. And when I went back and saw it, when I went back and saw how small that wall was, I just laughed.
Sums up exactly what the question is. Because that's what happens. It gets into your memory is a relative thing. It's a relative size. And the memory just keeps going as you grow.
I have 2 answers.
Is it Wagon Wheels or Monster Munch?
No. But I discovered that the pound shop was selling Wagon Wheels, and I got them, and they're not as good as I remember. So, the church I went to as a child. I went back in. I went out to visit the village a while ago. I went in the old church. I've done this a couple of times now, and each time I kind of think, I remember this being bigger. And I kind of look around and I realise that it's a little village church, whereas when I was growing up, that was the church. You know, so it was this big imposing thing.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's not. It's a small village church, and it's kind of quaint in a fun way, apart from all the culty people.
Hopswatch says the polar ice caps. Firstly, that is technically correct. Secondly, that's not the point of the question. It's not that things actually got smaller.
And my other answer is the church-aided school that I went to as a child. There was a wall in the playground that it used to be a real struggle to climb up. It was probably 3 times my height, but you could climb up it using the support bits at the back. I've been back there, and the wall is now at my waist height. But that's partly because I'm taller, and partly because I've cut the wall down to 1/3 of its original height.
Seraphim says, my attention span.
Yeah. Well,
oh, that's a good answer.
What are we talking about?
Jen.
I don't know. Truthfully, I got no idea. My concept of distances, because I used to, when I used to live in Albany, I used to drive up to Perth regularly to visit family and stuff like that. But now I live in Perth when I go back to Albany to visit family, and I think of how long those trips used to be as a kid, and now they're nothing. And I'm like, it's the same distance. It just felt longer when I was a kid. Yep. Things were so much further apart. Now my world's so much smaller.
Yes. I've got to say, I mean, and oddly enough, I was thinking about this recently with the way the trains are locally to here. There's a town that is only about 4 miles away, but there's basically no public transport to it. So growing up, that town was 1,000,000 miles away. We only ever went there if we ever drove, which was virtually never. We always went the other way because that's the way the public transport goes. And oddly enough, there's a footpath. And my answer was actually going to be there's a footpath that goes from here to Chester. There used to be a railroad.
You live near Chester?
Yeah. There used to be a railroad. And it... I used to walk along it when... So I was allowed out very young. I used to walk along it when I was maybe 8, 9, 10. And I never got to the next town along. And in my mind, that was because it was so far away.
I've got more answers.
Let me read what Doc says. Doc says, "I'm stalling till I can come up with something more clever than my dick."
I once asked my dad if he was capable of counting to 100.
Mm-hmm.
And he said yes, but I'm not going to right now. And at the time, the concept of 100 was such an insurmountable number that I assumed that it was because it was the afternoon, and if he started in the morning, he'd be able to make it before the end of the day.
There is a dragon story about that. Something along those lines. Where a dragon challenged a man or a troll? It could be a troll. Challenged a man to a series of challenge because he knew he'd beat him, and the troll says, whomever can throw this club the furthest will win the prize. I can't remember what the prize was. It was probably a maiden. And so the troll throws this club, and it ends up over the valley, over the nearest hill, several miles away. And the man comes up and he looks at the troll, and he picks up and he looks at the sky, looks around. I can't throw this now. The troll goes, what? You can't do it, can you? Can't throw it. The moon's in the way. And the troll gave in, terrified.
My other answer is time. Because I remember when something was going to arrive 2 weeks from when I ordered it, and when I was smaller, that was an insurmountable amount of time. Now, it's May, and I don't know how this happened. It was January when I last looked.
Yes. Although, to be fair, that might be related to what's going on. I mean, I am starting to feel bad about certain age groups. I mean, right now I am feeling really sorry in the UK for 15, 16, 17-year-olds.
Why is that, Dave?
This is the point at which they should be discovering sex. And they're not. They're stuck indoors looking at porn.
They're learning better masturbation techniques, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but there should be. It's the point. The interpersonal relationships at that point in your life will affect the rest of your life.
Yeah, but I mean, interpersonal relationships now tend to start online, and they do the cyber sex. So the only thing is that it's going to take them longer to learn is actually having good sex. It's not the other part of it.
Yeah,
I do agree with you to some degree, but I still pity them.
Come on, they're all in their rooms. They're getting naked on Skype, and they're all joint masturbating. There's going to be a whole heap of teenager porn end up on the net from people who've been spying in on this shit, and I hope they get arrested for it.
Amanda, are you meditating to be able to deal with more of Dave's bullshit?
The music listening, just blowing through it.
Music listening and pain killing.
Yes.
Oh, look at that! B says our condom sales have gone up.
What do you need condoms for to masturbate with? It just doesn't make any sense.
No, they're not using them to masturbate.
I'm not answering that question.
It's to use the British terminology, it's known as a posh wank.
It is.
Right, I don't know how good
Is that
this
actually
is
a
going to be
thing?
on my phone. So
Very good.
I have seen guys do it.
Yeah.
Put
Yes,
on
it's
a condom to masturbate? Really?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the thing.
And it actually has a name. It's called that's a thing. Called a
Yeah.
condom.
I didn't know that. That's why I laughed at it.
Okay.
Yes, that
You
is
fucking
that is.
British are weird. Weird.
We're
You've been
weird,
hanging around-
right? You want to talk about weird? You want to? It's this
What?
really weird thing. Lube to masturbate.
What's wrong with that?
It's
Hello,
really
looks
weird.
like my Wi-Fi's back. I'll be back in 2.
Okay. It's really weird. It's one of those things that's talked about in films all the time. Because it's something you don't need if you're not circumcised.
Yeah,
It's a
I was about to
circumcision
mention,
thing.
I think it's more for Americans.
Yes.
Better.
Okay.
Right,
So-
it's one of those things. Sorry, it's really weird because it comes up in films and it's taken the piss out of, and it's just, yeah, really weird.
Well, I have found that it can help.
Oh no, it's not that I'm disputing that you can't. I'm gonna go though. I should shut up. Yes, it's not that.
It can make certain aspects of the experience more enjoyable, but it also makes the entire process considerably more messy.
Yes.
What, the condom?
No, lube.
lube.
Lube. Oh, okay.
Condom usually makes clean up easier.
I've
Yeah, that's
actually
true.
found the opposite.
Except the condoms are horrible bloody things.
I've just seen what this question is, and how did we get on? How did we get some like dick from there? So I'm just trying
The hell, Jeff?
Yeah,
I'm innocent about these things.
Dave is running this show. That's
Yes.
how it happened.
Yeah, I'm innocent about all this stuff. You people are corrupting me.
You look very innocent.
I think Amanda's calling bullshit, but
I have comments.
Thinking, poor child.
You know.
I have comments, but I'm not going to make them.
Excuse me a minute.
Right, next question. Oh, no, we can't do the next question. Jeff,
what?
what do you imagine was bigger when you were smaller?
Right. Something. Should I say when I went to actually see it up close? Okay, it seemed to be a lot smaller than I thought. Was the Colosseum in Rome? Don't know why. Don't know why that sprung to mind, but.
No, good answer.
Well, I'm just trying not to. I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be the polite one here and not give a lewd answer for a change.
Most of the answers weren't lewd. I don't even know how it got lewd. Wasn't me.
They were lube, they weren't lewd.
It's always you.
Actually, why am I asking that question? Jen's in the fucking call. I should know all the answer to
That's
this
a good point,
already.
actually, yeah.
I actually didn't take it there, so I'm innocent this
I
time.
have no idea how we got there this time.
I think that was
I
a
think it was
result of me.
Badger, wasn't it?
This is a result of me.
Hey, that weren't me.
This is a result of me having to go at Boris, isn't it? They just cut my Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Right, next question. Question 506. Did I not ask Manda? Oh, bollocks.
You do this a lot.
I know! She doesn't butt in enough. All of you butt in.
She's having to mute. That's
Go on.
why.
No, but it's like this every day, and you know it.
Manda,
You forget me. Everybody overtalks me, and it's fine.
what do you imagine was bigger when you were smaller?
You, man.
See? Fucking did it.
Amanda, what do you think we overtalk you all the time?
Because I have nothing.
What do you think? What
to
you run
say.
about? Sorry, I'll shut up now.
What do you imagine was bigger when you were smaller, Manda?
The green in my town. Yeah, that's all I can think of. We have this really long green in my the town that I grew up in, and it used to seem every year for Memorial Day we would our parade went around the whole green, and it seemed so big, like it would take forever to go around. But when I got older, it wasn't as big and it wasn't as daunting. So that's all I can think of. Like, it's not fun, but something. Sorry. I want to go
Right.
back to listening to my. Yeah.
It's okay. Math Pig had an answer for you. He said
is it
Math
dirty?
Pig. He said Math Pigs ...
Then when I got older, like,
I think he means it in a case of you thought it would be bigger.
In your imagination.
Whatever it may be.
here, I don't know.
Talking about his beehive collection, aren't we?
Yep.
Yes.
I'd have thought so, yeah.
Okay.
Why? Where did you go with it, Manda?
Nowhere.
Oh, look at that. Math Pig. Is Manda not looking at the chat? I feel so unloved.
Can everybody stop thinking about my boyfriend's penis, please? Okay, just stop.
No.
Who said anything about his penis? I did. I didn't
Who's your
say
boyfriend?
that.
Yeah.
You are, Dave. You are. What was that so funny?
It subverted
I
the
can't
expectation.
wait to see until Math Pig hears that.
You got Northern Irish boyfriend, English boyfriend, Australian husbands. You're doing well here, Amanda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody here.
Polyamory is good
Yeah.
for you, man.
Yeah, I guess so.
It is kind of fun, but it can also be a disaster if you're with a lot of jealous people.
Who's Alucard pissed off?
Everyone.
Okay, fair enough.
He is literally pissed off everyone in the world.
Fair enough. Mathpig says 38 hives. It's huge.
There you go.
Oh, and B says don't forget about her lesbian girlfriend.
I was actually gonna say, I do have a partner here in the country, and it's B. But yeah,
Right, behave yourselves, everyone. Sammy's in the chat, so don't give him any more fucking ideas.
How does he arrive just after we finish talking about everything smutty?
Yeah, I mean, he missed out on the posh wank and all the masturbation and the lube. I mean, Sammy, what are you doing?
I'm sure Nerdy's keeping him.
Filled in.
Sammy's gonna have to set his alarm a little earlier.
Now Mathpig's trying to fight Beth. If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.